I've pretty much had enough. You know, I got to put words into action, or this is just not going to work anymore. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Manny. This is Manny's Book Bag. As far as what I want to talk about today, I think I've been in a really bad funk the last couple months, ever since we've had the things that were going on in our world pretty much take us out of sourcing and have us relying on selling things that we had on hand and coming up with really good ideas, like maybe exploring Facebook Marketplace and coming up with ways of sourcing things off of people for free, you know, maybe advertising for porch pickups and things like that. Ever since that time, you know, just kind of like scraping by to list and, you know, and resell things, there was something going on in my business, because not only was I forced to stay home, but my wife became a work from home employee herself. So the space that I had available to work, it pretty much got chopped in half, because I now had to share an office. And I don't think I really understood how much it was bothering me the last couple of months, until about 7 to 10 days ago, when the state of Ohio opened up retail stores. I was now in a position to go back out, and I started sourcing. There were a couple days where I sourced really heavy, and I'm gonna tell you something, I had fun when I was sourcing, but when I got home, it really sucked. Now here's the problem. I don't think that I ever really had a really large office space. I would say that what I had was adequate for what I needed, and I was able to use what was a pretty small desk, and then I added a second table to make sure that I had enough room so I could kind of stack books a certain way. Now, it's not really much of a desk. I've done videos in my work area before, and not only is it not particularly long, but it's got a hutch to it as well. So there's limits as far as like what I can do to move things out of the way, and how much actual surface space I've got so I can stack books and move books and keep scanning faster and faster. So it was limited to begin with. Then with my wife staying at home, I had to give up the other table as well. Like I said, it didn't really affect me too much while I wasn't sourcing. But when I started bringing home 100 books in a day, 150 books in a given day, then I started to really take notice of a couple things. First of all, the obvious. It was almost impossible for me to work in this office with the table space at the same time as my wife. So I pretty much had to stop doing any listing at all during the days. And I don't know if you're like me, if you're a night owl, but I pretty much already sleep like crap. So for me to have to work at night as far as listing went, it just made my late nights even later. So that became a real big problem. My sleep schedule was thrown off even worse. Now on top of the fact that I lost a table, so I had to stack things on the floor. So then I go to try and stack books on the floor, and I realize just how cluttered I've become in the last month. I mean, we're talking out of control, messy. I'm not even gonna show you around the whole thing because it's kind of embarrassing, but you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. I've pretty much got stuff, and a lot of it had to do because I've been working in a rush, and you know, I've just basically been focusing on trying to get things out and not really paying a whole lot of attention to my organization. So I haven't been the best organizer of my business in the last month or two. So yeah, the office was in shambles, and it was affecting my attitude towards the business. This past week, I've pretty much had enough. You know, I got to put words into action, or this is just not going to work anymore. So I decided that it was just time to overhaul this office. The deciding factor was last week with my wife more or less finding out that she's not going to go back to her office anytime soon. So it's not just for the purposes of making this more efficient for myself, but I need to also help make this more comfortable for my wife. She's pretty much home for the next few months, and you know, working from home for her is supposed to be a nice thing. You know, the least we could do is make it so that we can both get our job done. So ultimately, the decision for me was that it was time to upgrade my home office. It was time to buy new furniture, and it was time to set up 2 desks in the exact same workplace, while at the same time reclaiming my second workbench as well. And definitely, it's time to get rid of that small desk that was really only adequate before I ever started reselling over 6 years ago. So we woke up one morning, we made an appointment, and we took a little drive. We decided to go to buy our furniture. We packed our family into the car, and we loaded it up with furniture, and we were packed like sardines. And when I say sardines, I mean everybody was as tight as they could go. My legs were almost all the way up to the dash, and we're talking 78-inch tables and a whole bunch of tables and filing cabinets and everything you could imagine that would go into a home office, just to make this as efficient and comfortable as possible. But what I want to do now is, you know, you've basically seen the old photographs. What I want to do is I want to show you what we've done, because we've built a bunch of this furniture, and I want you to see the results because it's completely different. All right, folks. Well, you saw the before, and I'm just going to do a quick scan around the room. That right there, that's the desk that I will be putting out to the curb in the next couple of days. This is going to be gone. Don't really have a second use for it. The kids are all set up with their workspace. We actually bought the kids a same desk as my wife has set up here now. This is my wife's new work area, and she's got everything she needs. She doesn't have to keep putting away her laptop every day anymore. This is hers. She's got new she's got new space. She's getting herself a chair from work, you know, for ergonomic reasons. So she is good to go. She's got everything she needs here. For myself, I switched everything up. This printer I have not used in a long time, mostly because my dymos are here. But yeah, I mean, my wife uses that almost every day. I have space for my filing cabinets, my dymos. I've got my computer all set up. My actual scanner doesn't have to get put away every time I'm done using it. And the best part is I've got all this space for the purposes of setting up shipments. And what I am happiest about, what I'm truly happiest about, look at what I got back. I got back my second work table, and I now have all this space so that I can continue to put away my supplies. I've got boxes good to go. So there it is, guys. What do you think? It took me about a day and a half to get everything built and set up and gotten rid and gutted all of the old stuff and all of those things that were causing a lot of inefficiencies in my business. And I gotta tell you, it feels really good to be able to spread out and just make better use of my space. But here's the question of the day. Have you dealt with any inefficiencies in your business specifically related to the last couple of months? And in particular, do you now have someone working from home alongside you that is making things a little more difficult to manage? Go ahead and put in your comments below, because every problem has a solution. Well, that's all for today's video, folks. If you enjoyed this video, if you want to see me make more videos like this one, please remember to share, like, and subscribe to support the channel. If you haven't given this video a like, go ahead and do so now. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and tap on that book bag right there. While you're in there, remember to turn on those bell notifications so that YouTube lets you know every time I drop a new video. Until next time, let's go make some money.